Hey everybody, it's Mary and I am back here with more of 30 Days of Inspiration. Today we're going to talk about a topic that I think is very near and dear. I know it's near and dear to me. I hope it's near and dear to you, or at least something that you are willing to practice or take a look at, and that is boundaries. I feel like there should be a drum roll happening right now. Boundaries. Saying no when you need to instead of saying yes to something that doesn't fit with the path that you're on, because no is a complete sentence. By setting boundaries, what you're doing is allowing yourself not to have to tell story. And with no being actually a complete sentence, there is no need for you to tell story when somebody asks you to do something that you really don't want to do, but you do it because you want them to like you, you don't want to hurt their feelings, you are using it as an excuse not to focus on what you really should be focusing on, which is yourself. So today is Boundary Day. I'm going to have you do some thinking about what this means to you. So setting boundaries actually helps us to practice self-care and self-respect. This is how important this is. This whole self-care and self-respect thing. Self-care isn't always about, going out to get a manicure, pedicure, massage. Self-care is about how you are taking care of yourself, the words that you say to yourself, the way you allow other people to treat you. So we're going to take a look at that today. We can communicate our needs to focus our time on building and maintaining positive relationships. So once you set your boundaries and you kind of let people know what those boundaries are by how you are taking care of yourself and the things that you are willing or not to have happen in your life, or the conversations or the tough conversations that you are willing to have in order to communicate your needs. It doesn't have to be yelling and screaming. It just is what it is. And it may be something that you're doing for the very first time where you're standing up for yourself. But these things need to be done in order for people to understand how to treat you. Because if you're wishy-washy, sitting on the fence at everything and just being, oh yeah, I'll do that for you. Don't worry, I'll take care of that. When really what you should be doing is working on your business, working on your savings plan, decluttering your house, like doing things that matter to you. Sometimes it's easier to put the blame or the excuse on somebody else and do what they're asking you to do. That isn't setting a boundary. We're talking about looking at our boundaries, respecting ourselves, to be able to tell other people our needs, wants, and desires, and what we're expecting of how to be treated from them. That's not a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. By setting boundaries, we can then gain understanding that we are worthy and that our time is valuable. If you are at the whim of everybody in your life and what they need, then they're never going to respect that you may have a different version for your life. You may have different things that you want to get done. But if you're at the whim of everybody else in helping them or getting them what they need instead of getting you what you need, people just are not going to value you. And as we age, that's when people talk about being invisible. Well, if you feel as though you are invisible, that is really up to you. Because if you're not setting your boundaries and you don't understand what you value about life, then nor do the people around you. And therefore, you become invisible. Now is the time to change that. You can set these boundaries by doing a few simple tips. Boundaries release the need for you to tell story because you are in line with your intentions. What is the intention of your life? If you haven't taken the time to figure out where you want to go, what you want to do, then people are gonna use and abuse you to make their life easier, not make your life easier. You have to be brave with your life so that others can be brave with theirs. Again, it's like the quote that I read, the verse I read the other day by Marianne Williamson, Our Deepest Fear. If you let your light shine, you are allowing the light to shine of others around you. It's no different with you being brave and setting boundaries, or you being brave and saying, no, thank you. No, that isn't something that I will do today. If you still need it done on Friday, then maybe I could help you out. But no, today is not going to work. That is an okay story. You don't have to make up shit to make it all feel all warm and fuzzy for somebody else. So ask yourself this: what is really important to me? Have you ever thought about that? Like, what's important to me? How do I want people to treat me? How do I want people to look at me? What do I want people to know about me? As we age, we have a lot of wisdom. We actually have a lot to share. And a lot of times the people around us, it could be our children, it could be our family members, our friends. A lot of times they don't, because we've just always done whatever anybody else wants us to do. They don't understand that there's a whole life that they don't know about us. There's a whole story that they don't know, because we've never taken the time to set those boundaries to say sorry, I'm not going to do this for you today. I could do it next week, but today, tomorrow, no, that doesn't work for me. And as you see, I'm not I don't have to be upset about it. I don't have to be forceful about it. It is just matter of fact. My intention for today is to complete X, Y, and Z for myself. So do I have any extra time in my day to go run an errand for somebody or go do whatever? Then that answer would be no, because I promised myself, and my time is valuable. I'm valuable, and I'm also worthy of my attention. And therefore, because of that, I'm not able to do this for you today. But if we can manage another day in my schedule, I'm happy to help you with that. What is the purpose of doing this? So what's really important to me? The next question is, what is the purpose of doing this? What is the purpose of my intention? The purpose of my intention might be if I'm working toward my business, or launching my business, or creating a side hustle, or a vacation, working on a vacation, or planning my financial life out. All of these things that are important to me. What's the purpose of doing this? So once you understand why you're doing something, and that has value, that is for you, then it helps you to stay strong in your conviction of your boundaries and saying no. The next question is, what am I prepared to give up to make this happen? What am I prepared to give up? And I say, what am I prepared to give up to make this happen? Because, I don't know about other cultures, but I know that in America, people hate the word sacrifice. That we have to, oh my God, I have to give up something. Oh my gosh. This isn't about sacrifice. This isn't about sacrifice. This is about who in your life do you need to become in order to live the life that you want. That's all. What are you prepared to give up to make this happen? Other people taking control of your time, the negative self-talk that you tell yourself. What are you prepared to give up to live this intentional life with boundaries? So learn to say no to people and to the projects that do not align with your goals. Because ultimately, once you gain this and go ahead and set boundaries for yourself and then work on your values, then your life will become so much more rich because people will understand how to treat you and that you too are worthy of everything in life that you desire. Thanks for showing up again on this 30 Days of Inspiration. If you found that this might be helpful to somebody else, don't forget to share. And please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you right back here tomorrow with more of 30 Days of Inspiration. Ciao for now.